43. And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, today there shall be with me in paradise. To understand this text, we must first understand the backdrop of this text.
All right, talk.
Luke 39, verse 39 says, and one of the malefactors,
Yes, sir.
which was hung on the rail on him, saying, If thou be Christ, save thyself and us. But the other that was hanging answered and rebuked him, saying, Does not thou fear God, seeing that thou art in the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due rewards of our deed. But this man have not done nothing wrong. And he said unto Jesus, Lord, remember me when thou comest into the kingdom. If I had to put a subject on this tonight, I want to talk tonight the rewards of hanging with Jesus. There is a reward when you hang with Jesus. When we look at this text tonight, we see three people hanging on the cross. One on the right represented sin. The one on the left represented the saints. But the one in the center represented the Savior. Because you do know that there was three hanging on the cross. Two had sin in them, but one had sin on him. Y'all can help him in tonight. Because the two was headed to hell because they had sin, but one was going to hell because he had to sin for everybody. And I thank be to God that we have a God that understands our ups and our downs. Can I get some help in here? And the text says that the malefactor on the right, he began to ask Jesus a question. He says, if you say who you are, I wish I had a witness in here. If you say you all of that in a bag of chips, why don't you come down? Because you do know, I told you the man on the right was a sinner. He began to talk with sinner talk, because sinners always talk like that. If you be God, in essence, you don't know who he really talking to. He said, if you be God, come down and save yourself and save others. Because when sinner talk, it always center around themselves. I wish I had some help in here. But the other on the left hand said, he said, leave him alone. Matter of fact, the text says he rebuked him. Can I pause parenthetically? Because some scholars and theologians think this man wasn't saved. Some scholars and theologians think that this man didn't have a relationship with God. But when I read that he rebuked the one on the right, I discovered that the devil can't cut out the other devil. The devil can't rebuke another devil. So it gives me a good indication that this man had a relationship with God. And some of y'all throw people away because they are thieves, because they this, that, and the other. How many know God still loves thieves too? And if he still loves a thief, he can still love you and I. He said, leave him alone. I feel better already. He says, leave him alone. Don't you fear God, because you don't understand folks' relationship with God. Just because this brother wasn't at Zion Hill every Sunday don't mean he wasn't saved. Just because this brother wasn't in your choir, that don't mean he had no relationship with God. First thing, I see three things I said out of here. First thing, I see the request. He said, Lord, when you get to heaven, when you get where you're going, I don't know when you're going, if you're going today, but whenever you get there, when you take off your clothes and get a little comfortable, he said, what I want you to do, he said, remember me. Maybe he didn't ask to go to heaven because he knew he was going to hell. He said, Lord, when you get to heaven, remember. The word it means to bring me back where I first started. He said, remember me, put me on your mind. Though I'm in And some of us down here in hell, but I thank God he still think about us. But then, man, I got to close. I see the request. He said, Lord, remember me. But I thank God tonight that there was a response from the Savior, from Jesus said, this day you shall be with me in paradise. And I like that word. Although Jesus said, before I go to heaven, I got to make one stop to hell. Can I get a witness here? Y'all don't want to have church. Give me a little music. Let me get out of here. But I thank God tonight. You may want me to go to hell, but yonder have a place called paradise. Can I get a witness here? Just a little talk with Jesus made everything all right. Good evening, y'all. Bid you farewell. The first request, they would respond to the request, but then there was a reward for the saints. How many know one of these old days